You're listening to the Here for the Clout podcast. Here are your hosts, Sherilyn Dale and Cece Suarez. Yeah, baby.
Hello, Clout Queens, Kings, and in-betweens. Welcome back to the Here for the Clout podcast. I'm one of your spicy hosts, Cece Suarez, and this perky little parasite is Sherilyn Dale.
At least I'm perky.
Mm-hmm. You sure are,
That
baby
actually
girl.
is quite fitting. It's quite fitting. Maybe that's my alter ego when I have too many drinks. Sienna just sent me a text and said, it's Regina Phalange. And I was like, I feel like Regina's too quirky. I'm like scrappy and I don't know. I'm still naming her.
Yeah. I think it's best if we don't, because we don't know them. Do we know them? No, we don't.
No.
We don't know them.
That's actually
there have been some times where the next day I'll just be like, "Oh my God, I did that," and then I'm just like, "No, I don't know who that was. That was not me."
I know.
Or I'll find pictures on my phone and I'm like, "What is happening?" I was talking to someone. I was talking to my brother-in-law, and I was like, I haven't gotten like real drunk in a while. Tony just looks at me, and I was like, I blacked out in London. I threw up. And he was like, yeah, you got up at like 3 a.m. and went and threw up in the bathroom. And I was like, at least I cleaned it up. Like, I tied the garbage bag, went downstairs, put it in the trash, put a new like, I'm responsible at least.
You are, yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sprayed stuff in there so no one would know.
Good for you. It's not
Yeah,
your
and then
first
I came-
radio, clearly.
Yeah,
You're like, I've
and
got
then
this system.
Girl. Then I came back to bed and Tony was like, uh-huh. And I was like, I fruit up. I'm fine. And I went back to bed. Yeah.
Don't
Sometimes
ask
you gotta
questions.
just get it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Good times. You know who's not going through a good time? Or wait, no. Too early.
God.
We need a comment call out. I have some saved
First-
today.
First and foremost, let me get some comment call outs ready. However, I would like to say congratulations to us because we hit 20,000 subscribers.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks to us. Congratulations to us. Thank you for making that
Thanks
possible.
to us. No one else had anything to do with it. We're just kidding.
Oh,
We're just kidding. Okay.
Okay, while you do-
Also,
Oh, no. Keep going, babe.
I was going to tell everyone who loves this podcast to, actually, not even if you don't love us, just even if you're listening, go to the most recent Welsh Twins video. And please go say how much you love me in the comments.
Please do. Please
Um,
do.
Yeah. Let me just say that I usually never let comments get to me. I'm very thankful that I am like that. However, I am on my period.
It's
and
not
I-
about that, babe. You don't need like a hormonal excuse. That was like brutal. And you know me, like I'll be in there when something posts. When I went in, like it was, nice, fun, loosey-goosey. And then I
Yeah.
woke up and saw your text and I was like, what the happened? And go in there and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Maybe that's because I know you. So I don't even think twice about like how you come off to people who are just seeing you for the first time. And even that like didn't make sense. So Whitney watched it yesterday actually, because I like came downstairs and I was like really upset. I was like what the is wrong with people? And so Whit watched it last night and came home, or she came home this morning. She came here this morning. She came back to us and she was like, I loved it. And she's like, and yeah, I saw some of the stuff and was just like appalled. And I couldn't understand because I'm like, what the are they even saying? Like, the one of the things like people were caught up on was you spitting your food out. First of all, it was very cute. I never even realized when that was happening, and Whitney was laughing at that because she's like, you were so unfazed because of like how close you and Chelsea are and how much you love her, that like you didn't even, you literally just like probably picked up the piece and like put it on my toes. Like, it didn't phase me. I commented and I was like, that's not the first time Chelsea and I have swapped spit, so I guess I didn't notice.
I also like scooted it to like the side of it, like on the opposite side of the plate, because we were sharing a plate for like almost all of it.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people commented that, and they're like, oh, that's so rude. And I commented on another one that was like being funny about it, and they were like, oh my God, that is so funny. And I was like, girl, I was like, oh no. This was it. I was like, oh, actually, they cut it out, but I actually spit it directly into her mouth. But yeah, that was interesting. And then a lot of people were like, why'd she even show up if like she didn't want to be there? And it's like, what are you talking about? And I even said, I know, I should not look at the comments. As a content creator of a decade, I know I shouldn't do that, but it's just so frustrating when people get you so wrong. And I've been dealing with like the mean girl like aspect of it all for so long, and it's like I don't understand that. Like in my personal life, I've never been called a mean girl to people who actually know me, and it just hurts because it's like it would hurt anybody, but the thing is that like I was so excited because like I love Robert and James so much, and like I am closer to Robert, but like, and Robert even says this, he was like, yeah, it's like you're he's like, you're 100% like a gender swap of me, like we're both sarcastic, we have the same like dry humor, it's why we get along so well together. And you even know, like, and I even said it to Jesse and Lily, I've said it to Tony, I said it to them, I was like, I'm so excited because like y'all have, and I've said it on the podcast too, I was so excited because like I thought at least that their audience would like get my like dry humor because that's the humor, and like the chaos of it all because that's the humor that James and Robert have. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they're gonna get me, like they're not gonna think I'm like an asshole or like a mean girl, and like they're gonna understand like my humor. And then when that wasn't like received, I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, I don't understand that. And a lot of people were even like, no, it's because you're a woman. And I was like, awesome. And even like before we did theirs, we took like a little bit of a break, and I even like reminded myself, because I talked to Tony about it before, and I was like, okay, like they have a bigger platform, like I want to make sure I'm not like, being too much, because I can be like that when I get too excited about something. So I was like, all right, so I'm gonna try to like reel it in a little bit, and like I am gonna mask a little bit, but I think I did that too much. But I wasn't trying to interrupt them, because with like ADHD I can get too excited, I interrupt a lot, and it's not that I'm trying to be rude or like make it about myself, it's that I'm excited to be in the conversation with you because I love you, right? And so even at the beginning of the episode, you can see I'm like intently listening to what everyone is doing and saying, and just like looking and like eye contact and like nodding and like just actively listening. So I don't know, it was so strange, and people being like, she's boring, she's snobby, she's rude, and like
the boring,
like,
I was like, what?
That's something
like,
I've never been called.
Wild.
Yeah, so it's I don't know, man, it was really upsetting, and I woke up and cried about it. I went to sleep, cried about it,
that
and
breaks my heart.
I was really sad. So that sucks, but
it breaks my heart.
job.
Yeah. Well, and just because it sucks because like you're in front of an audience, I guess, like for a lot of those people, like seeing you for the first time, and like to have like the perception so wrong is frustrating. Like, what was the alternative? What you're supposed to do, like be on my energy level of 8 fucking espresso martinis from the night before still in my veins? Like, no. And I am more like sing-songy and energetic, like even in texts, than you, but that doesn't like take away from like your humor, your heart, like you as a person. I don't know, I just
But some people were like, oh, she didn't even like smile or laugh, and Tony and I were watching it, and it was funny. Tony was like, look, there's a laugh, and I was like, oh, look, there's a smile. And like it was like, yeah, I mean, I'm just listening, and I'm trying not to interrupt, and I'm trying to not be too crazy. And I was like, yeah, I guess like the masking kind of got me there. But then people even saying like, oh, like it was so rude of you, like not even to try everything. And it's like, I did try everything. The only thing I didn't try was the
pork.
the pig chips.
Yeah, and you know what, babe? I wouldn't have expected you to anyways, because I love that flavor. I love that. And then even when James was like, there might be a hair, I was like, Chelsea's out.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, and I was
No,
expecting
girl.
mine. I ate so many of them, but then I was like, I got to like one of the little hair guys, and I was like, and that's we're done.
I would have thrown myself out one of the windows that was behind us. That would have.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's disgusting. But yeah. Oh God. And I just find it interesting because it's like, I don't know. I feel like I haven't ever like realized the autistic aspect of it, and like how much I was masking like in the moment. And I wouldn't say I'm a picky eater. Like I eat a lot of stuff. I mean compared to like we have some picky eaters in our family that, like, for instance, Tony's sister, it's like, I feel bad even saying this, but it's like American food all the time, and like chicken nuggets and chicken tenders and blah blah blah, and like mac and cheese, and like she doesn't eat turkey, won't eat pork, like doesn't eat like no ham, like it's so strange. And meanwhile I'm like, no, I like haggis, and like, have you ever tried bone marrow? Delicious. It tastes like meat flavored butter. And
Yeah.
but you know, calamari and like stuff like that, it's like the texture I cannot do.
Right.
And like a lot of shellfish, except for if lobster's cooked the right way, it's meaty and I love it. So good. And
I
like
know, I'm
steamed artichokes and
salivating.
stuff. So delicious. But yeah, it's just strange because it's like, I'm not a picky eater. It's just like that food's gross.
Right.
And even James and Robert didn't like
They
almost
didn't
any
try
of the
anything.
food.
Like, like,
Well, no,
like a couple of the things they were like, okay, and then it's like, you're gonna eat it. And I wish, like, even like big guy, like, you know, big guy, he wouldn't try anything at
Well,
all.
no, he is a very picky eater.
Very picky eater. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
I'm
wish
not.
like at least we could have had some of the behind the scenes of him being like, nope. And then he was just micromanaging the oven and so confused as to why Robert
To the
and
point
James
where
didn't
Tony
know how
like
to
scolded him
use
and
it.
was like, "Sit down and do not get up." He
Let
was like,
them
"This is
figure
the
it out on
point."
their own.
Yeah, that video was hilarious. I had so much fun watching it and making it, obviously, and loved being with them. And when they come in town in October, I had like two ideas for the twin channel, and so I told him to Robert, and he was like, "I love that." And I was like, "Perfect." And I hope that we can get Hannah Alonso to do it with us too. I want to
Yeah.
do like a a video where we do like sleepover or like girls' night, like 5-minute
Oh
craft like
My
hacks.
God, I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sure there's somewhere there's a video that we could do for those, and I think that would be so funny if we did
Yes.
that. But then also I want to either me make them Cuban food or order it from
You
somewhere,
have to
or I
take
can
them
just
to the gun
order it.
range though too. That has to be the top of the list.
Oh yes. Yeah,
Like,
having
I'm
them
waiting
go
for
to
it.
the gun range with Tony.
I need the content.
Yeah. They off camera, they asked Tony if he could like hold their wrists.
Yeah,
And
they're
Tony
worried
was like,
about breaking.
"Why are your why are your wrists so flimsy?" And I made the joke. I was like, "Tony, it's because they're gay." And he's just like, James was like, "Yes, they're just perpetually flimsy." Dying laughing. They're just the best.
They really
Yeah,
are.
so I cried. I know I'm like, a tough bitch. However, all of that like background stuff like obviously goes into it. And I just love them so much. And yeah, I mean, it made me feel better though that Robert like texted me and he's like, "I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so disappointed in, those people." So it's sad that like those are like our twin channel people are like our like diehard fans who like get our humor. And he's like, "And you have the same humor as me. Like, what the f- are they talking about?"
Yeah,
Also,
that's
like,
sad.
your parents or grandparents didn't invent beans on toast. I'm not like insulting your bloodline. It
Yeah.
tastes like, calm down.
Yeah. And I feel like you're really good at making people like think about that and aware about that. That's something like you've even taught me about, like if I used to take things personally. Like I've told you this story before we were even talking about talking together. My life.
Your wide brim hats.
The which one, babe?
Your wide brim hat.
Yeah. It's like
Oh, I know.
the the Monet
You've told me
girl.
this multiple times.
No,
And I'm
but
like, girl,
I'm
I
saying
bullied
that
myself. I threw them away.
that's what made me think of it. It's like, she's not talking to me, right? Like, yes, okay, every other Monet girl also has it, but I'm not one of them. I'm not selling it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So you've made me think about
Yeah.
that, because I did used to take things like personally, and it's like, why? They don't know me. They're not talking to me. So
Yeah,
that's a lot of
and-
people getting offended or whatever
yeah.
when they or their
love-
family didn't invent it.
Girl, you would have thought it's interesting because like with the at-home hibachi party that I had for Tony this past weekend, I invited a few of his best friends, and one of their wives, Sarah, came, and she's known me forever, which I love. And then Tony and her husband have been best friends since like kindergarten, and almost all my siblings were there. Julian and Taylor weren't, which was sad, but still. So my oldest brother was making fun of all of us, of me and my sister, and like we were all going back and forth and just roasting each other. And Sarah turned to me and she's like, I don't think like other people could like survive in your family. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you got to be careful who you bring around. I was like, what? And she's like, listen, normal people would be like crying right now. And I was like, oh, well, yeah. I mean, even we always make fun of Carly because like just period. We just always do. And and we all make fun of each other. But we always joke that like my dad still to this day doesn't know what my sister does. She's a VP of and something at Gallagher Bassett, and she got her master's degree in insert major here. Could not tell you. And so we always joke that my dad, for like the longest time, said that my sister was a physical therapist because he just didn't know what she did. And she works in like the sales side of workers' compensation for like big like medical and like insurance companies, and she like does that. I don't know. I don't know. And to this day, my dad will still joke, or like now it's a joke. Sure, he still can't tell you what she does, but we always joke like, "Yep, Carly's physical therapist," and Ash is like, "Yeah, Carly's physical therapist. You're on OnlyFans," and I'm like, "No, I'm not."
I love that.
Just yeah.
It's like Chandler and Friends. None of them know, and they call him the transponster. That's not
A
even
transponster.
a word. Oh, he's a transponster. That's not even a word. That's what Carly is. She's a transponster physical therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Occupational therapy. I got no clue. Anyways, so you know who else doesn't know what's going on?
Us,
Actually,
because
before
we haven't done the comment call yet.
I don't anymore. All right. Anyways, comment call outs. Sorry, guys. So Newfin1313 said the mummy was our collective queer awakening for the gays of a certain age.
Amen. Every time I
And-
see the clip of the guy, like, because I forget who it is, I always just like equate it to The Rock because I knew that he was in one of them, and I'm like, no, that's not the one. And then I'm reminded when I see the photo of the Arabian man that you also love, I just think of him in Deuce Bigalow, male gigolo. Like he's like the gigolo that like Rob Schneider
killed my
like,
fish?
house sits. Yeah, you killed my fish, you die. Okay, I loved this one. Kelsey Minich 8684. Sher having a panic attack over just thinking about looking at her app purchase history is beyond relatable. Yes.
Don't do it. Do not do it.
I still haven't. I forgot
Yeah.
that happened, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, we're not gonna go back there.
Girl, there are a lot of people who like do think that it was him. So I feel
that.
I feel good about that. I don't know. I don't like him. Anyways,
Yeah.
So you know,
I'm also
what
seeing
else
a
I
lot
don't
of
feel good
people
about?
thought that we were biased, and I didn't think we started the episode saying everybody here sucks, and I was like, oh,
Girl, that comment. Well, there were a few, but one of them like, you need to do more research before you make a biased video, and it's like,
First of all, again, how many times do we have to say, don't come here for the research?
yeah,
Please
hey
don't.
babe, I don't know what you're looking for, but it sure isn't journalism. And
No.
guys, I don't think I'm a journalist. It's a joke. Calm down. It's gonna be okay. However, yeah, is it bias, or do we just disagree?
Yeah.
or do you just
Yeah, 'cause
not like
I
what
didn't
we
think-
said?
Yeah, I didn't think that at all. I mean, I think that we worked through it as we do during pretty much all of our episodes, because we're flying by the seat of our pants most times, where we
Yeah.
start with one opinion and then we end by the other. But I feel like a lot of people do that, and it wasn't even like a solid opinion. It was just like listening and being like, oh, this is embarrassing. I do feel bad for you. I'm not condoning cheating, and I thought we said that multiple times in there. You can two things can be true at once. You can still like think like the way she got herself into that situation by like trying to stray from her marriage. I think we also said that it probably isn't the easiest thing being married to Tommy, and it's easier said than done to just divorce somebody. Anyways, the whole
Yeah.
thing is terrible.
Yeah,
and Ronnie sucks.
Ugh,
Even if he isn't the catfish, which I still don't think he is, but
and that's okay.
yeah, like why are you so mean? Like he's just mean, and you'd think you'd want to be finding out who's doing this, impersonating you.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Anyways,
But if it's him, he doesn't want to find out.
Yeah.
Anyways, what else sucks?
Hmm.
Girl, we've been trying to transition into this for 40 minutes. You know who else is not in a great relationship, or so it seems, is Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber.
the Bears.
The Bieber family. Bieber in your native tongue. And let me say this, I don't know. I had so many things lined up to say, but now I'm just like, I just feel so bad for her. And I know it's such like a polarizing topic because people just hate her a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, listen, if you were a super fangirl of someone and then were able to marry him, would you not do that? Would I have jumped at the chance of having the cult leader that I am involved with do an arranged marriage between me and JC Chazé? Absolutely. I would have married him in a second.
Yeah.
His voice is the best. He has the best voice in NSYNC, and Justin Timberlake can suck a crusty butthole. Thank you. I will not explain further. Oh,
Yeah.
JC Chazé, I love you so much. Anyways, so this is what we're talking about today, is Justin Bieber, also known as Justice Beaver, the crime-fighting beaver. That's an Office reference if you don't know.
Say that we're the tour manager for Justin Bieber and we're giving away free tickets. We give him a number to call for the tickets, and it's his number.
Who is Justice Bieber?
It's a crime-fighting beaver.
And there are a couple aspects that I just need to get off my chest. Is one, like you have to be aware of how it appears to the media that you hate your wife. And like how that comes off. I don't care what the you're dealing with privately, but doing all that publicly and like having her be like so scrutinized is just, who needs enemies when your husband is Justin Bieber?
I keep trying to understand and just kind of be like, oh, you know, like their relationship's so strong that they don't need to like appease anybody. We don't know, like this is so parasocial, you know, like we're just looking at like little snippets and stuff. But it's like, it's almost like he's trolling, but at her expense, right? Like obviously, I don't know, they love each other. Like if you would do they? I don't know.
Does he?
I don't know. I don't know,
Jesus
babe. I
Christ,
can't
it doesn't
speak for him
seem
'cause
like
I
it.
don't know him. I know, that's the thing, right? Like I felt like in the earlier days when it was like, oh my God, like the Selena stans just going insane and him having to say something. He has done that before in the past, like being like, you know, if you love me, then you will be happy for me and support who I want to be with, and this is who I love. And then now he doesn't do that at all, and kind of fuels speculation that like people just like straight, that's what they say now. They're like, you hate your wife. Like the Vogue comment that he made on his Instagram, how like it could have been so easy to just be like, I am so proud of you. We did not need to know about the story about you guys getting in an argument and you telling her she's never going to be on the cover of Vogue, and that, you know, well, I guess you proved me wrong and I'm proud of you. Like, Justin, why would you give people more tools?
Yeah, I just can't imagine saying something like that hurtful to your spouse. Like back when we were just like dating, I'm sure I said something, you know, I regret to Tony, and I'm sure girl, one time I made this man cry in Bass Pro Shop.
Oh.
I wasn't
Bass
even
Pro
there.
Shop.
Yeah. Why did he cry? BRB, let's go to the source.
I need to know the Bass Pro Shop.
He doesn't remember. Neither do I. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. And it was like 20 years ago. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine like putting that out there. And like he could have phrased it so differently and just been like, you've like defied the odds and like you did this and blah, blah, blah. But that's not the only time that he has done something like that. So let's go through some. So first and foremost, let's work backwards, I guess. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Justin Bieber hates his wife. And in May 2025, Justin Bieber shared on Instagram that he once told Hailey that she would never be on the cover of Vogue in like a heated argument. And he said something along the lines of like, I was like trying to hurt you and blah, blah, blah. And you proved me wrong. Or like he said something along the lines of like, unfortunately, you proved me wrong. And it's like, what? And he followed up with an apology and praised her achievement. Many fans found the initial revelation unsettling and questioned his decision to make it public. And it's like, at this point, I don't think he cares how the public perceives their relationship because he's like not even treated her like, but like just disregarded her. And it's so sad and doesn't seem like he's like supportive of her at all. Like, I just can't imagine that. Cause like, girl, I get offended when like Tony like walks a few steps ahead of me if we're like going somewhere. And I'll be like, especially when I'm wearing heels, I'm like, hey, how about you slow down? How about you like get back here? You know?
Yeah.
And even Hailey attended the 2025 Met Gala alone, which combined with Justin's absence from other significant events, fueled speculation about marital issues, and observers noted that during some joint appearances, he seems disengaged or distant. And there's like, for instance, there's times where he has like literally pushed her out of the way, or like not walked with her like through crowds of paparazzi, or there's clips of him like getting out of a car and like closing the door behind him.
Yeah.
And it's just not giving like, not to be like, oh, I'm a meek little lady and I need like your protection, but like you're more famous than her.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just like a vast difference between like their dynamic and like other, I don't know, like protect me. Like, you know, he don't walk on the street side of the sidewalk, girl. You know, he don't even walk on the same sidewalk as her. He's across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. There's one where he like zooms off on a skateboard and is like, bye, f you. And then she like trips. There's ones where he like pushes her like off of him and like walks away when she's like about to pose on I believe it was either the Oscars or the Vanity Fair after party. There's just so many examples of it and it's so sad, and I would just hate to feel like so disregarded like that. And that also goes into like, was this an arranged marriage? Because that is have you heard of that?
I've heard of that.
Conspiracy?
I don't think so, but yeah, I have heard of that.
Girl, I think it was, because I feel like
let's hear the theories. I just one thing I wanted to interject. So I went to go see exactly what he had said on that post, and he changed the caption like with her Vogue cover. So it's a bunch of emojis, which is kind of adorable, and it's like, I don't know, I love you or whatever. But yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. So
even right now,
weird.
like he posted another screenshot of an Allure cover saying Road Beauty is coming to Sephora. No caption. Just that. I mean, good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's nice, Justin.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's no credible evidence to suggest that Justin and Hailey Bieber's marriage was an arranged marriage in a traditional or formal sense. However,
yeah, let's hear it.
They are both involved in like Hillsong adjacent, or like maybe it is like a branch of Hillsong.
Yeah, I thought they were in there, or maybe now because it's no longer, they followed that other pastor. Do they follow him?
Yeah, that's why I said like adjacent one kind of.
Okay.
So Hillsong United is a big like mega church and a cult. It's a cult. And they were like super involved in it, but then also they were super close to the pastor of it and like other offshoots that he was doing. And listen, you can be like super religious, whatever, but it was spooky. And Hailey's father, Stephen Baldwin,
Oh,
is he,
God, yeah.
are you still kept up on him? And is he still crying on TikTok or Instagram?
I think so. I came to the conclusion that I think he was trolling to promote his podcast because he kept hashtagging last movie ever or something like that. And I was like, what does this mean? When I started finally like looking at all of his like weird things. And then I looked it up and that's the name of his podcast. And I was like, are you a marketing genius? You just made everybody think that you're fucking whacked out of your mind. I still think he's a little bit like wackadoodle, but he has a podcast where he's like pretty normal on it, interviewing his old like celebrity friends. And I'm like, oh my God. Are you brilliant or I don't know. I don't know.
We got bamboozled
I think we did for sure.
yet again. Was he the one that was on Gossip Girl?
Was he?
One of the Baldwin brothers was on it. Because there's 3 of them, right?
There's like 5, I think.
I need them to stop.
Hey
Stop
Siri,
it. Girl, you know
Huh.
she hates you.
how many Baldwin brothers are there?
The Baldwin family is an American family of professional performers, including the 4 brothers Alec,
4.
Daniel, William, and Stephen.
Which one
This
was on
answer is from
Gossip Girl?
Wikipedia. I found this on the web for which Baldwin brothers was a Gossip Girl.
William.
Check it out.
Who the f is William? You said there's a Daniel too? I can't.
Yeah.
The whitest names ever for these brothers. Well, her dad's Stephen.
Yes.
So he's one of the 14 of them.
Yeah.
So Stephen Baldwin is a devout Christian and has spoken about wanting his daughter to marry someone who shares their faith. Some fans speculate that he encouraged the match behind the scenes, especially since the Biebers had a very short engagement. Their reconnection in 2018 was rapid. Justin and Hailey were dating for only a few weeks before getting engaged and married 2 months later. Red flags. The speed led fans to question whether something or someone pushed them together. Religious influence. Both Hailey and Justin were heavily involved in Hillsong Church and later Church Home. Hate that rebranding. Around the time of their engagement, some fans believe that these religious communities played a larger role in encouraging the relationship than the public was told. Justin's previously heartbreak with Selena. Some fans argue that Justin rushed into a relationship with Hailey as a rebound or an escape, suggesting it wasn't entirely a love-based decision, though that is speculation. Justin has described their relationship as divinely guided.
Jeez.
Yeah, and said that marrying young helped him find stability and purpose. How's that stability going for you, buddy?
That's the sad thing,
Hailey-
because it's easy to say that when you're right in there in that moment, and
Yeah.
then, you know, like as the years go by, you feel like you're chasing something that you potentially thought you missed out on.
Well, it's also like, maybe it's just like his wording of it, but it's like marrying young or marrying her, because it sounds like it was just marrying young, which is, I don't know. I mean, I got married at what, 24? And for some people that would be considered young, but I mean, yeah, we got engaged when I was 22. Yeah, 22. And so, yeah, I guess that is young. But we'd also been together since I was 19. And I don't know, I'm still going. Best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
his
there was
butt
a
looked
lot
so
of
big yesterday, it was
emotions.
great.
There was a lot of emotions going on there. Like, yeah, very quick after Selena, then you've got so much attention and eyes on you, people's opinions, looking at it, being like, what the hell is going on? Then you have the religious aspect to it. It's like they're probably being pressured of like, oh, okay, if you guys are going to be spending a lot of time together, you ain't boning until you got a ring on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there was a lot going on.
Yeah, and also just like the people that they're involved with. I mean, like if these spiritual leaders are saying allegedly like, oh, this is like a perfect match for you and like you guys should get together and blah, blah, blah. Like
It's giving
It's
Twin
the-
Flames universe.
the whole thing of like, oh, this is going to be good for you. And, you know, God's really pushing me to tell you this. It's the whole
my
faith
God, I can't. If
manipulation.
anybody's yeah, literally. I think we've had to like defend ourselves a few times on our own channels, on the podcast. again, it's not about you. If you have a relationship with God, great, or whatever your religion is, like, we're not coming for you. But if people are so involved in every aspect of your life, there's a problem. Your relationship should be your relationship, not having somebody over top of you and wondering, like, how much money are you going to give me? Who are you recruiting this month?
Yes. And trying to bring in other people as well, I think is so weird. And like, no, how about like a lot of people didn't know that I was even, spiritual until they saw like the picture I posted that we got our son baptized.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, and I've always said with Tony, like we even changed in our, I have a little binder that's called the Bean Book. It's beautiful. And it has like printed out pages like that are laminated for when we go on a trip and leave him with someone. Not just, that sounded weird, not just someone, with one of his grandparents. And even in the back of it, it's after like doctor information, insurance information, like all of that. It even says, and like we've signed it and dated it, like God forbid anything happens to us, he goes to this person.
Mm-hmm.
And we even changed it recently because I was like, obviously I want my family to be involved and like Tony's family to be involved in his life. I was like, but my sister is way more religious than I am, and way more like they've raised their children that way too, which is fine for them. But I don't want Bean to feel pressured with that. So I was like, congratulations, your godfather gets custody of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, which, hey, if you want that, go for it. But that ain't me. So Hailey said also that they were friends for a long time and then fell in love in an intentional and faith-driven way. The does that mean?
What does that mean?
Does that mean you were fangirling and like stalking him for a long time? Like, was that intentional?
Which again, slay queen, you go for it.
Yeah,
like,
go off.
Like you said, like we would have all our crushes and stuff like that. That's literally like, that's the goal, right? Like you're just like, they're gonna fall in love with me one day. It happened to happen for her, but then yeah, what is the faith driven? That does make it seem like you said, where it's like the inside influence of the church and like who they're looking up to or looking to for advice, being like, this is it, and making the decisions for them.
Yeah, don't love that. A good way that I like to say, instead of like it being arranged, is like, well, it, in my opinion, wasn't organic. It's definitely seemed curated.
Okay, I like that.
You're welcome.
That's it, you guys. It was curated.
Yeah, and not in like a cute way.
Okay, and not in a cute way.
And curated in a non-cute, not night at the museum way. Well, what's in your mason jar? Moonshine?
Oh, I wish. Actually, I don't. Water. I finished my iced coffee already, and I'm, ever since the old espresso martini incident, I'm definitely only down to one.
Listen, the videos I have on my phone from that night,
they need to be deleted. I thought they were deleted.
It's an insurance policy at this point. I'm not against you, against me, against myself. Also, I'm pretty sure that guy from that night is in love with me.
Oh, I thought he was gay.
I thought so too.
What did he say? He met Tony.
Girl, I showed Tony this DM, and he's like replying to my stuff, and like I was like replying to his stuff. He posts like a lot of good stuff, and I even like have shown Tony stuff that he sent me, and like reels and such, and he was like, oh, like this is interesting, blah blah blah. And we're fine. And because I know someone's going to be like, oh my God, Chelsea DMing other men. Chill.
Quite sure he's gay. I'm still of the opinion that he's gay.
That's what I thought. And he made a few comments of like, oh my gosh, your husband's so lucky. And I was like, I agree. and I was very confused. And then he said, do you remember what you said to me before you left that night?
What did you say?
Couldn't tell you. It wasn't me. And I responded and I was like, nope, was pretty blackout. I'm so sorry if it was inappropriate. And he was like, it wasn't, Chelsea. I wouldn't have brought it up if it was. It was just so funny. And I showed that to Tony and he was like, don't know if this guy's gay anymore. And I was like, I don't know either. What was it?
He didn't
I
tell us?
don't know. Like I said, it's none of my business. I have no idea.
Well, first of all, before anyone speculates, I know for sure it wouldn't have been like you like coming on to him. Like you, like it could have been like gay flirty. There's, there's different flirties. Like I flirt with my gay boyfriend. He's
Why
the only
did we
one I'm
think he
allowed
was
to
gay?
kiss. So
Did
like
we
I'm all
just-
over it.
Did we just make up that they were gay?
I think we could have made up that they were gay maybe, and then you said something gay, and then but he took it as straight. Huh. But our husbands were literally like right there, like in the conversation. So what could it have? I'm really trying to think. And I never heard anything the next day from, well, big guy.
Girl, you weren't there either.
No, I was saying I didn't hear anything from big guy. He was on the floor.
Yeah, someone moved his stool.
Never seen him like that, but I'm glad he had fun. Anyways, okay, well now I'm going to be racking my brain about this because what the hell?
I don't know. I have no idea.
And he didn't say? He was just like, it was funny?
No idea. I am not interested in finding out. I don't know.
Okay.
It was not me.
Okay, carry on. Well, we might have just
Yeah.
made that up. Well, that's funny because I just kept talking about how gay they were.
Just walking up to two random men and being like, "So you guys are gay?
So
What's
you
that
guys are
like?"
gay? Why'd you guys come out here together? Oh my god, I love that for you.
Girl, I don't think they were gay, but I just love that
That-
like you told me that and I just took it as fact.
Oh yeah, I did. It was. I'm the problem. It was. I did. I just labeled. I thought they were. That's why I love them so much. I would not have been that friendly if they were straight
Yeah, I don't really like straight men much.
at all, except for our husbands.
Yeah, except for the one I am. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
literally.
the only penis for me. So back to Justin Bieber. I am sad about it, but there's two other things. So there's this clip of obviously like all the like weird stuff he's been like cryptic stuff he's been posting lately, and a lot of people are saying it's just weird, and I don't know where this stemmed from. A lot of people have said that it's like slowly just progressively like gotten weirder after they got married, but then after COVID too. And with like the whole Diddy trial, a lot of people have said that he like maybe that's why, like maybe this is triggering for him seeing like everything coming out.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are calling back to where he says, like he said in interviews a few times, and we can show it, of him saying that he was like taken advantage of at like a young age and he didn't really like elaborate. And then
Yeah.
there's like that viral
Especially when he
clip of-
talks about Billie Eilish. Like, and
Exactly.
cries. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh
Yeah.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
So there's like a clip of him like hugging on Billie Eilish and saying that he just wants to like protect her from everything. And a lot of people were like weird about that, saying like, "Oh, that's so like disrespectful to your spouse." And I don't
didn't
think
see
that's
it like that at
disrespectful to
all.
her.
No, I saw it
No.
as like pain and like something
Yes.
fucked up has happened.
Yeah,
Or he's
and-
seen a lot. And of course he has. Look at a lot of people like coming forward and being like,
Yeah. And he
This
he even like
industry
has
is
said like no, she's
dangerous.
like my little sister. Also, she's gay. Calm down. And I definitely do see like a like mentor relationship like
Mhm.
that. And I think his mentors failed him by a lot. And
Mhm.
I think I think that relationship's beautiful of him and her. And it's just sad because it's like, holy shit, what happened to you?
Right.
And then also like that goes into too, like, okay, well then were you pushed into this marriage and now like you have a kid, and it just makes me so sad for obviously for Hailey as well. But then also like imagine going through postpartum. act like I know if she is dealing with any like postpartum depression or anything like that, or postpartum rage or anxiety. But like your hormones are off, then going through this like with your husband too, and it's just like, okay, that sucks.
Yeah.
But he has come out and said that he wasn't a victim of Diddy, and that takes away from the actual victims of Sean Combs. But then it's like, okay, well, were you a victim of someone though? Because it doesn't have to necessarily be him, and I'm not trying to like push that narrative on him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I mean, a lot of people in the industry, especially men, in the past 5 years even have come out more like what's his face? Who's the guy from White Chicks?
Terry Crews?
Yes.
Making my way downtown.
Exactly. I'm literally picturing him in the car singing that.
Terry Crews,
Okay, so Crews filed a lawsuit against Bennett and WME for sexual assault. Some witnesses stated that, I don't know who, it was a Hollywood executive that groped him. So some witnesses stated that the Hollywood executive had gotten intoxicated, dismissed the groping as horseplay, and apologized to Crews the next day. WME responded to the lawsuit, arguing that their reaction to Crews's claims was both swift and serious, meaning like we wanted to handle it, like we took it seriously. And the executive was like, no, it was just horseplay. I'm sorry, but you groping someone's dick is not horseplay.
Yeah.
Like what the So, from this Guardian article, the actor and former NFL star Terry Crews and icon has claimed that he was a victim of sexual assault by a high-level Hollywood executive, but did not retaliate or speak out over the incident for fear of being ostracized or sent to jail. He is a black man, okay? And he is a man, and a man who is perceived as very masculine and strong. And if you do come out, you can be blacklisted, basically. And that's exactly, allegedly, what happened to my best friend and yours, Brendan Fraser. A lot of people don't understand, a lot of people don't understand, like, oh, well, where'd he go from like the mummy in George of the Jungle then to like the whale? And it's like he was blacklisted and went through hell. And he was sexually assaulted by a like high up in person. Right. And he spoke out about it and then was blacklisted. And Terry Crews didn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so look, I mean, look at even like Rose McGowan. Like she was like the like head of like Me Too, you know, like when she was just like, I'm
thank God.
With it. And yeah.
Yeah. And he even said, Terry Crews in 2017, he said, this whole thing with Harvey Weinstein is giving me PTSD. Why? Because this kind of thing happened to me. I decided not to take it further because I didn't want to be ostracized. The par for the course when the predator has power and influence. It's crazy, man. Like it's wild.
And that just goes to show like something like that can happen to, like you said, like somebody who's like looked at as like very masculine and strong and like don't like, you know, like don't with them. What the do you think was happening to Justin Bieber? Like he's basically saying without saying like something horrible has happened to him. But like as a child, wild. What I feel bad for is that I feel like right now it's clear that there's something going on, and it makes I think like the judging is not helpful for the situation and the mental state that he's in right now, of people being like, oh, like, look at him just like crash out. Look at him just like, he's just like high as, and it does off like, yeah, we're not blind. It does appear like he's obviously struggling with something. I know he's posted photos of him like smoking out of a bong and stuff like that, but I think it's like a little bit more than the devil's lettuce. Yeah. But with the SZA, the way that clip has been clipped makes it look like way worse than I think the whole performance was. Like I've seen more of that performance, and like when he first came out, he was like on it. But yes, towards the end, it did look like when he was like kissing her hand like the wrong way and like just kind of like stopped singing. It's like he did for a moment forget like where he was, and it did seem like she was like, hey Justin, wake up, like we're on stage right now. I saw that for sure, but at the beginning of it he didn't look like that. He looked on it, and Hailey was there. Everyone's like, oh my god, like how embarrassing, again, like to your wife, like you like all up on her. First of all, he's a performer. That can happen a lot, you know, like that's just like chemistry. It doesn't mean like chemistry doesn't equate to like I'm cheating on my wife or I'm in love with SZA and I hate Hailey. Hailey was in the crowd like jamming and like had the biggest smile and was like, you could tell was like so happy to see him like performing again. So like, and again, examples of like things being like taken a different way and people making their own assumptions about it, and that just not being like productive. I personally do think that it looks like he needs help, and that's got to suck for everybody involved that like loves him, especially her, right? Like she clearly loves him so much, because it doesn't look like he's very okay right now, and she's still there, right? Like she's still supportive. She's still dealing with people constantly telling, you know, her or the world what their relationship is, and still showing up like for her man.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, like he is a performer, and I don't like the whole, oh, I wouldn't be okay if they like how he like kissed SZA's hand, and it's like, calm down.
Yeah.
SZA's not trying to Justin Bieber, okay?
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't think it was that deep.
No, it's that's giving the same thing as like Keke Palmer's ex-boyfriend, how he got pissed about
her outfit.
Well, and her like being like her dancing with Usher. Do you know damn well, if I remember I showed that to Tony, and he was like, I'm pretty sure this was not last year. It was, I was literally about to give birth. And I was like, Tony, Usher has a residency. We need to go. And he was like, hell yeah, let's go. And I was like, I remember I showed that to him, and I was like, would you be like offended if like Usher was dancing on me? And he's like, I'd be jealous. He's like, I want him to dance on me.
Tony
would
have been Hailey. He would have been like,
yeah. I'm like, oh my God, Tony. But we love Usher. Our kid, I pushed our kid out to my boo.
Oh my God, I love you.
I mean, I was pushing to Kid Cudi, but so let me hold on. There's an article here from the Economic Times, which I'm sure is a very reputable source, that says Justin Bieber shuts down drug rumors, explains what's really going on with his health and disheveled look. Here's all that he said. Justin Bieber classified his recent exhausted appearance due to caring for his newborn son and working on new music, not drug use. His representative confirmed that he is focused on his family and creating art. Despite past struggles with addiction, Justin has turned his life around and remains in a positive place. Yeah, so I mean, apparently doesn't he have like an autoimmune disease or something? Like, not lupus, Lyme disease? Doesn't he have something?
I'm not sure.
Lupus is Selena.
Right.
But he had
had like the face paralysis. Like I know like everyone assumes Bell's palsy, but I think he called it something else. And I mean, yes, newborns do be getting you exhausted and not looking your best. You're not well rested, and if you're working really hard on top of that, it does look like he's been like working really hard with new music, which is exciting, as long as he's doing it for him on his terms, like not like with like a label gonna take advantage of him, like that is clearly happened throughout his career thus far. Like that's pretty much why he stopped like performing. Like you're like a circus monkey, right? Like to these what do you call them? Like not production companies, but record labels. Jesus, Sherilyn, let's get it together.
You're doing great.
I'm trying. That's what you are, right? You're not making billions on billions of dollars. It kind of feels like you've like sold your soul for some of these people. And then for at least for Justin Bieber now, like thank God, like he does have the fan base still to this day that he does, where he would be able to, you know, produce his own music and write what he wants and sing what he wants on his terms.
Yeah. And he sold his, because that's another thing too. People are like, oh, he looks so like, he's like crashing out because he's like in so much debt. I don't know where that rumor came from, but as of right now, there's no like verified, you know, and stuff out there that he is in debt, but his net worth, which doesn't really mean anything, is $300 to $400 million. And in 2023, he sold his entire music catalog for $200 million. And obviously a that boosted his wealth a lot. But people have been saying that he's in debt because there's like lack of new music, obviously, and then canceled tours. And people make a lot of money off tours, apparently.
Yeah.
If you obviously like sell out and like are doing really well with it, unlike Jennifer Lopez, that's rough.
Jennifer,
Yeah, but he canceled the remainder of his Justice World Tour in 2003, and then also health struggles. Here's the thing. He's been public about dealing with Ramsay Hunt syndrome, which affected his ability to work. And some fans wonder if the sudden sale of his music rights was financially motivated. And it's like, well, fucking obviously. And also, it wouldn't have been a sudden sale. It was probably something that was like in the works for a while. So that's interesting that they're like, oh, it's so sudden.
It's sudden to us. It's like when like a new artist comes and you're like, oh my God, they just came out of nowhere, and then you actually like follow their career and it's like they've been grinding for 10 years.
no one is an overnight success. Like people say that about Chapel Roan, and it's like, no, girl, she's
like
been
since she's like 15 years old, like out at like fairs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then also before a lot of people knew who she was opening for Taylor Swift. And I swear Taylor just picks them, right? Like who was opening for her before that? Sabrina.
Sabs, yeah.
Good old Sabs. That's our girl.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know. She's a
our
big fan
girl.
of the show.
Sabs.
A big fan of the show. And yeah, so I mean he has multiple income streams, obviously. Brand deals, new music, investments, merch, royalties, all that bullshit. And then obviously like, which I'm sure they have a
obviously his wife too, who's killing it in like the beauty space, right? Like Hailey is just like
killing it. She's doing great, honestly, and good for her. And it seems like Selena has been very supportive of it, which I love.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just
Good
don't
job,
I
Hailey
don't
Bieber.
Yeah, I can be Bear. Yeah, I don't anytime like somebody like tries to make something about the two of them, I'm like, stop. Like again, like it's the pitting the women against each other. Like why doesn't anybody talk about like the guys that date like the other like their friends ex, you know what I mean, and then put it on the guy. Like you don't really see that like how it's been done with like Hailey and Selena with friends or like two dudes.
Totally.
Can you think of one? I'm like trying to think as I'm saying that. Let us know in the comments because like I can't like one's just not like coming to the top of my head where people just can't let it go. Same with Jen and Angelina, and I'm guilty. Like I've been like, you Angelina Jolie, how could you do that to Jennifer Aniston? But again, I'm like, what other like what have we had of men doing that?
Tony dated his best friend's ex-girlfriend.
You.
Yeah, and then he married her. It's me. Hi. That worked out well for me.
But see, no one's harping on them.
No, I'm also not famous. However, hey. Yeah, so I don't think he's in debt. I'm pretty sure he's fine.
I think he's doing fine.
Yeah, it's super weird, and I just hope he's okay. It seems like he's, going through it, but
yeah, that's what I hope at the end of the day. It's like I don't want to speculate or like think, and yes, we all have eyes, and
we do have eyeballs.
We do have eyes. Yeah, we do have them. And
really
it
happy
seems
we
like
have
maybe
eyeballs.
there's some form of struggle. Or maybe, again, this could just be trolling. Because I'm also looking to, not only does it look like he's making new music, but also, because I think he sold his, or shut down, like, the Drew clothing brand that he was, like, associated with. Or, like, maybe he sold his portion off. I don't know. But it looks like he's doing a different clothing venture or like shoe line. So he's also sprinkling in a lot of like those types of advertisements as well in his page. So maybe he's taking a page out of his father-in-law, Stephen Baldwin, and making it look like he's crashing out so that people like just keep watching. And then once the release is there, everyone's going to have their eyes on him and they're going to be like, oh, this was what it was for.
I surely hope not, because then that's at his wife's expense.
That too.
Yeah.
It's
just,
it all
couldn't
seems to be
imagine.
even, and again, poor Hailey, because this is again coming back on her, because when everything was going on with her dad, when he's like crying on camera all the time and then hashtagging his podcast, everyone's like, Hailey, go get your dad. It's like, why is this woman responsible for everybody?
Yeah. I do like that they've kept their baby not a secret, but like they're protecting his privacy. And I think that is important to Justin, which I do love that. And they've kept like their family life at least like more private, which is great. Now if they could if Justin could only like stick up for his wife.
Yeah,
which which
Give
I
me a little
understand. Like
something.
it is exhausting and it could be like never ending, but
Mhm.
literally all you have to say is like, I love her. That'd be great, Betty.
Yeah. Not putting the captions out there and then like changing them later. It's like we need someone to help like proofread it. Even on
Yeah.
Mother's Day, did you see that? Like like his first post on Mother's Day was like Mother's Day is a joke or something like it was like brutal. We'll have to find
What the
yeah, it was on his story. And then later, then that's when he like shared his like Mother's Day posts, and like the ones of Hailey were just like just like these awkward shots of her like standing and dancing in the living room that day. And then he, I guess, had like a nice dinner like planned for her in their backyard, like with a private chef and like a mariachi band and
I saw that one. Yeah, wow.
but yeah, on his story it was like what a joke. Oh,
Jesus
Justin, so it's like,
Christ.
why are we doing, yeah, like you already know all the eyes are on you. And like, yes, there's going to be like, you're going to be scrutinized no matter what you say or do or post, but like, don't make it that easy for people. Like you're just handing them the material right there. And they
Like
don't need that.
sometimes do you think these people, like I saw someone saying, they're like, listen, lobotomies aren't a thing, but like chemical lobotomies are. Do you, like with Britney Spears and then like with him, like do you think these people have just had like, meaning like being over medicated or whatnot, do you think these people have just had like chemical lobotomies basically?
I think for sure with Britney, there's, yeah, something, again, obviously. I don't know about Justin, though. There is a part of me that still just thinks like it's a bit trolly and strategy. I don't get it. I don't know what it is.
Those are some big words you're saying over there.
I don't know why it's strategy, but I do think it is because he's clearly like, yeah, like making his own product right now, making music, showing up on stage with SZA. He's showing up for his Toronto Maple Leafs also. Him and Hales were at the games. And so I don't know, like, I don't know. I feel like if it was really dangerous, like at this point, there would have been an intervention of sorts. That's what makes me
Well, and yeah, I
feel
mean,
like,
hopefully we wouldn't know about it if there was, because that should be kept private.
yeah. But
Hopefully
with
he wouldn't
Britney,
post
yeah,
about
like
it.
with Britney, when the people who were like keeping those things private were outed, you know, like kicked to the curb. Not that I think that like the whole thing was like it just went too far with her with the conservatorship. But then when there was like nothing, like nobody looking out for her, I think like she was scared. Like I think she like really even thought like people who actually truly cared about. I'm not talking about her dad, like, as I think that he went about everything like just absolutely horrifically. But she just doesn't trust anybody, and I can see that in him too. I don't think that there's a lot of people that he trusts because I think they've seen a lot in the industry, and they've also been personally affected by really people who just don't or didn't ever give a shit about them and took advantage of them.
Yeah, I agree
And that
with
can, I would, you know what? I would be disassociating on stage with SZA too. He did look a little confused.
I would have licked her hand too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, one more thing. There's this very scary video that I forgot to mention this earlier of his like weird behavior, but there's this scary video of him at an event for Road Beauty.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Is it with the girl that she had interviewed him in a so she
He's
talked
smiling.
about this. Yeah.
And it's
So
like,
that girl I think she had been, I don't know, part of like a publication or something like that.
she's like the head of like Refinery 21 or something.
yeah, something.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah, she had like known him before and was like saying that she was like, oh, do you remember me or whatever? And then they were like catching up, but like it was like overly like he was, I don't know. But then I think about me on espresso martinis, and I was very like smiley and jittery. I don't know. He could have had a lot of espresso martinis before then.
It was giving
the movie Smile, the horror movie.
Yeah.
Smile.
How did his face get that big?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was definitely giving cocaine, and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's like, Chelsea, unclench your jaw.
Yeah.
Stop grinding your
Aw.
teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah, it was giving coke
Justin.
jaw.
Oh, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm sober. But you know. Yeah.
Oh.
Not saying he isn't, but like that was, it's just so many things that it's like,
That's what it is, right? Like
We can
things like just
explain some
continue.
stuff.
Yeah, it's like once things constantly are piling up, you're just like, it wasn't like the one situation.
Yeah.
I think that's what's concerning. And yeah, it makes me sad because I can't even imagine. Like, I do think about that though, if, in 20 years from now, what that interview might look like with him, like finally talking like very candidly and openly about what he has kind of like alluded to, because he's never really like outright said like names and this is exactly what happened and this is what I've seen. It's like, I've seen things, it's horrible, and I want to protect people, like young artists.
Yeah, I would hope that they get away from, like, again, it's okay to be religious and spiritual and whatever and have your beliefs, but the
The high
construct of
control.
it all,
Yeah.
like the organization, I would hope that they would get away from that a little bit for like their own family's sake, because a lot of times when, you're involved with that and it is that, big of an organization that is involved with other famous people and other powerful people, then you would potentially be, I'm not saying this happens, but it has happened, that you would be discouraged against like coming out against other people and,
Mhm.
silenced and led to believe that like, no, you just need to like, move on and you need to forgive them and, just like move on. And it's like,
Yes.
how about not?
That's what I was just
So,
thinking too. It's like you don't even like properly, sometimes are not properly able to deal and heal with your trauma, because it's like, just pray about it. Like, God's got you. Forgive. And there's never
like,
really.
he's got me. Where was he when I was getting fondled?
Exactly.
Like,
So
what?
it's okay to like rely on the comfort of religion for sure. I feel like it should be on your own terms and like however that feels like in your heart. But to be like not talk about it, forgive. Oh my God, like my sister was telling me a story about a family member on like on the other side that I'm not related to, with her like my sister finally like coming out and saying about something, like things that had happened to her. And then the response being like, because they're very, very religious, and that's part of like my religious trauma as well, being like, yeah, like that's too bad, but you just like God would never give you something you can handle, and it's, holding on to that, it only does you more harm. And it's like, no, f- you, it actually doesn't. Like, I'm not gonna pray about it. Like, I've been praying about it, babe.
Yeah.
Now this is why I'm doing like multi-therapy appointments a week,
Yeah.
because I'm crashing the f- out at 30 because I'm done praying about it.
Well, yeah. And I mean, part of the healing process is confronting those things and like calling the person out if that is a safe situation to do so, or talking publicly about it again if it is a safe situation to do so. So that's crazy, man. I hope that feels comfortable. I mean, like I said, like helping. It seems like that is something that he's passionate about, is like protecting younger artists and all that. I mean, we've seen that with Billy. So like, yeah, can you do that privately? Sure. But do I think it would be more beneficial for him to like do that publicly? Obviously, yeah. Not right now. He's not. I don't think he's in the space to do that right now.
No, right. I completely agree. But it would be kind of like a Terry Crews situation, like being that example of somebody like looking at somebody and having like a preconceived notion of nothing like that happening to somebody like that. So if you're the example giving, I don't know, first of all, the facts of just being like, yeah, this isn't like a conspiracy theory. This is actually something that happens. These are the people, or this is what happened to me. This is my experience. And that encourages other people to talk about it if they've gone through it, or, be aware of it and know that you have, people who believe you and allies and stuff like that if something were to happen down the road.
Correct. Yay.
Lily Tino
did
went
it.
to Disneyland again.
Who?
My favorite person in the world, Lily Tino.
Ew.
Yeah, she went to Disneyland again. We remember what happened last time?
And asked to talk to their manager.
Yeah.
She's such a danger to society.
Did. But made this full thing about going to the women's washroom, knowing very well what it was going to do for the on the internet. This is what I'm talking about. This is what pisses me the off. This is what pisses me the off. Anyways, I thought we could talk about that like later for when we film for Patreon, because I need to get off my chest. But this was a lot for this episode. Very heavy.
I do have the screenshots of when she was going at it with Lance Bass's husband. And she's like,
Oh, you do?
You're the problem. And he's like, oh, yes, a gay man is the problem, not you who's giving dangerous advice to like your large following. Like, what the like, you're gonna get people hurt by following this advice.
I can't. I can't.
Yeah, we don't like that. Let's support creators who don't add to harmful stigmas.
Yeah.
The alphabet mafia. And you know what, babe? Protect the dolls. You know who is not protecting the dolls? Lily Tino.
I'm just, yeah, I can't. I try. I literally try. I try to give the benefit of, I try.
Do you try?
And then I do. And then you do this. Then you do this.
Lord.
The whole
Yeah,
thing is
it's-
rage bait, clickbait from the second she got on the grounds of being like,
I know.
we all know what happened last time. Are they going to let me in? And then it's like, should I go get food? Then has the manager issue at the restaurant. And then I have to go to the washroom. Let's see what happens. Why is this content? Like, you know
It
damn
is
well what
weird
the
to
fuck you're
have-
doing.
To have rage bait surrounding
A topic that is already so vulnerable.
Yes, yeah, but her, like, 'cause think about it, it's like, what would you consider her content? Like, what niche is it? And it's like, well, it's unfortunately not its own because there are other people who do it too, but it's rage bait around the manufactured societal outrage pertaining to the small percentage of the very small, microscopic percentage of the population that is transgender. And it's so dangerous and scary, and I hate it. And it's just giving so many people, like people who don't have any gay friends, don't have any trans friends, aren't exposed to that and normal.
Because her stuff goes
people.
viral, so that's what's pushing out, right? As opposed to
Exactly.
like other creators have
Yeah.
been trying so hard for so long to actually educate, because she plays it off like her content is educational, and it's not. Like
No.
that's where that's where it gets me.
dangerous.
It's like it's dangerous when you are doing things like that, when you're bringing it up, being like, remember when I got canceled? Let's go back. Let's see if I'm allowed in. It's like, why? Like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. So if you're not aware who Lily Tino is, I'm so happy for you.
I am
Lily
so
Tino
happy for you.
is a transgender content creator.
TikToker. Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah,
content
I was going to try to remember what platform she's on, but a TikToker who their content mainly, they do more so like live streams, right?
Yeah.
So
she
they
does
do,
like restaurant review, like San Francisco adventures, and
but it's
eats at restaurants.
not even about the restaurant. And Lily Tino has transitioned from, I don't know if they've fully transitioned. I also don't care, but they've transitioned from male to female, and she a lot. So the way you've probably seen her is there's compilations of her correcting service workers and, people in hospitality and all that, calling accidentally, or hey, maybe purposely, who knows, but typically accidentally misgendering her and saying sir instead of ma'am. And she'll she'll correct them and be like, it's like a dagger to the heart. And it's like, is it? They don't know you. Like, come on.
Coconut bread from Thailand.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes,
Ma'am.
No, ma'am, no, sorry, my bad. And the middle one is from India. It's the papadom with the gingerbread chutney.
Thank you. Just like totally sucks the joy out of this bread tower. Makes me want to immediately like leave because I no longer feel like safe here. It's like, oh, my guard now has to be up. I'm not going to enjoy this bread as much because my guard is up. We should be able to go places and not have to worry. I don't think I really want this bread tower, actually. I think I'd rather have the check if that's
Yes,
okay.
ma'am, yeah.
I think that's the training. We're supposed to say friend or just not use gendered language. It's like a pretty big thing that Disney has done. Nothing was wrong with bread. I just don't want it anymore. Just because they apologize doesn't mean she doesn't feel sad or offended. Yeah. Exactly, right? Like, if you've accidentally ever hurt someone and say, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, do you expect them to be like, oh, it was an accident? Of course, no problem whatsoever. All of that hurt is now undone. That's not how it works.
Sorry about what happened.
It's okay.
I
I would love to
think-
pay for the drink, please.
No, the drink is on me too, so
You don't. Are you sure?
you're good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Sorry
very
about
much.
that.
And she'll say
It never
things like,
seems like yeah, because she leaves those parts in too. So you do hear the like the wait staff who
they'll feel
never
so
s-
awkward and
so
apologize.
and so terrible, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it never
and-
seems, and from what I've seen, and anyways, in my opinion, like malicious or like ill-intended.
No, I've never seen it like that. I mean, then again, I avoid her content like the plague. But yeah.
But then when they apologize profusely and they're so embarrassed, she asks for the manager to come over.
Yeah. And that's when it's like, hey babe, these people don't get, especially in the US, they do not get paid enough to deal
Coddle
with you in your antics.
Yeah, it's just it's oh my god, I can't. I cannot. Anyways, it bothers me.
Yeah.
I think it bothers me more so like for all of the creators out there who are actually trying to, you know, get their voice heard and actually educate and have like really I believe her name is Alexis Blake. I just found
Who's-
her and I
which one's the
really
hot
love her.
doctor?
Ooh, I don't know.
God, he's so hot.
Okay,
There's actually a lot of trans TikTokers. What?
yeah,
A
Alexis
lot.
Blake, I love her. She's on TikTok and YouTube, and I think she's really sweet. There are
she
she
the-
does react.
She's
a
in
lot.
the UK, right? Or no?
I believe so. Yeah. Yes. And
With her husband or boyfriend. Did she make one recently where she was like, just the trans couple getting ready to go into the men's bathroom together, and they did like an outfit check.
I don't know.
It was hilarious. It was
She
like,
would
"Oh, you
never-
guys."
She I don't think she would go to the men's washroom though because it's not obvious that she
Well,
was
if,
once a
if
man.
if they're in the UK.
Oh, I see
yeah.
what you're saying. Yes, okay, I see the joke. I see what you're saying.
Maybe if is it her? Let me see, because I love her. Damn, no, wrong one. Okay, well,
But that's the thing. See, there
She's
are a lot,
beautiful.
and then it gets overshadowed because everything like the rage bait virality of Lily Tino gets pushed up, and then that's the perception that people who need to be educated are not
Yes.
getting because that's what they're seeing.
yes, so we will have a bunch of our favorite
Yeah.
trans creators in the description box down below who we believe at least are, even if that's not their niche, even if that is just an aspect of their life, but who are using their influence for good and
Yeah.
who are protecting the dolls, so to speak, unlike Lily Tino, who we think is quite frankly endangering the dolls. And that shirt is on back order now. Can you believe it? Crazy. The Protect the Dolls shirt.
Oh.
There's ever since Pedro Pascal, beautiful a-hole, ever since he wore it, it's like on fucking back order, and it's like $200. Obviously the proceeds go to a great cause, and I don't want to buy a
Knockoff, yeah.
yeah, I don't want to buy a knockoff. I want it to go to that cause. And also we'll have the Trevor Project linked down below too. The Trevor Project is an amazing nonprofit. It's
Mhm.
one of my favorites,
Mhm.
and they do a lot of great work. So
Mhm. Mhm. I love it.
and no rude. Obviously, you can have your own opinions about Lily Tino, about her behavior and all that down below, and like her actions and that bullshit, just like we have right now. But any comments about her being transgender or any
Like any
comments-
transphobic comments, yeah, absolutely.
yes, any
Those are
transphobic comments or
automatically gonna be
homophobic comments or
deleted.
any
Like,
bull
yeah.
like that
yeah.
will get you completely blocked from our channel because we do not like that.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up. Anyways, yeah. So like both
Because
of
that's
us
not
agree. I think,
productive either. Like,
well, obviously,
you know.
we don't want that. We
Yeah.
do not want that here. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, because we are protecting the dolls as we should. So yeah, it's I just think she's how do you say a danger to the community?
Agreed. That's my opinion, and it just like it's like one of those
Do you
things where I'm just like,
do you
I'm
feel
so-
better that you've just gotten this off your chest? I know
I
you
have.
were, like,
I think I need
so
to go a
worried
little
about
bit
talking about it.
deeper. We need to go a little deeper on Patreon, but like, yeah, for now, yeah, I do feel better because like when I saw that this weekend, I was like, I messaged you. I'm like, I can. And same with the hat lady. That's who I need to talk about on Patreon. The fucking
Who?
hat lady. The hat lady.
Who's the hat lady?
That's literally her name on TikTok. It's the hat lady. It's this elderly gal on TikTok who has opinions about everything. It's fine, whatever. Like if you want to, like, it's kind of like a tea gossip channel. What she is saying right now about the Valeria Marquez online murder, like you saw her live stream murder, it's awful. The murder was awful. But she victim blaming right now, going through her surgeries, being like she was a part of the cartel, like, oh my.
Well, we have 40 minutes. So let's stop this episode. Let's take a pee break, and then we can film a Patreon video where we talk about the hat lady. Not to be confused with the hat man, who is your sleep paralysis demon.
She's my sleep paralysis demon.
Perfect. Anyways, so we will see you over on Patreon where Charlene can rage about people she hates. But my palms are sweaty, my knees weak, and arms are heavy.
Mom spaghetti.
Totally. So we will see ya when we see ya. So stay feral.
Stay delusional.
Damn the man! Save the empire!
Goodbye.
Goodbye.